Well, we've come to the end of our lesson, Fruits of Faith. So let's do a little bit of review with 5 personal review questions. Question number 1, why does justification matter? So we talked about this at the very beginning in the first topic. What is justification anyways? It's the pardoning of sin. So through the pardoning, through justification, we can be reconciled to God. And only through the pardon of sin, only through the justification, can we be reconciled and have relationship again with God. Question number 2, why does every one of us need to face custom-tailored tribulation? So again, tribulation, sometimes we think about it as, facing tribulation, facing persecution, where it's widespread, where it affects a lot of people, and it may be, but sometimes we need to face these custom-tailored tribulation, where you and I, we each go through things in our lives, moments that try us, and maybe the things that try you would be easy for me to overcome, and the things that are very difficult for me would be a breeze for you to go through. So each one of us faces things differently. And why? Because it helps us grow. So each of our tribulations or trials, it helps us grow. It helps us to grow maybe emotionally, mentally, but most importantly, spiritually. We grow closer to God when we face these moments. Number 3, in a worried, troubled world, how does the gospel of Christ bring hope? Well, we have a hope of something better. We have a hope of a God that loves us enough to get us through. We have hope in God that we can overcome this world of worries and of troubles. So the gospel of Christ brings us hope of something better. Number 4, compare and contrast the 2 Adams. So again, as a reminder, who were the 2 Adams? The first Adam was the first man in Eden, the first man created. And it was through him, he also was sinless. He was created perfect. He was created with no tendency to sin. But unfortunately, he was tempted and he fell. And through him, sin entered the world. The second Adam is Jesus Christ. So he came to this world. He was also sinless. He also had no tendency for sin, but he overcame this world and he proved that it was possible, and it is through him that sin can be overcome. Right? The last question, question number 5. What do I need to remember when plagued with a guilty conscience? So this was the topic of abundant grace, right? So we need to remember that God's grace is sufficient for us, that no matter how far we have gone from Christ, how far we've been separated from God, no matter our transgressions of the law, through him, through justification, through repentance, where we ask for justification, we ask for pardon, we have the promise that grace is sufficient for us. So may the Lord bless us, that we may ever keep these truths in mind, so that one day we may be privileged to meet with Christ face to face through his amazing grace.